There is fire on the mountain. Run, run, run. Candace Owens. Oh, I'm pronouncing it very well. Just destroyed, scatter, terminate. Look for another word and drop for me in the comment section. Someone's wife, a widow for that matter, ERIKA KIRK. Now, a lot of people have literally been talking and they've been speculating. In fact, I've seen clips. I think I stitched one of the clip in this video I'm about to roll out for you guys, where someone literally said, sue Candace Owens. If you know what she's saying is wrong, sue her. But we've not heard from anybody. We've not seen anything. You know, I told you guys on this channel that the death of Charlie Kirk will reveal a lot of things, despite the fact that that man never loved black people. You know, that was my problem with him. He never loved black people. In fact, he hated black people as far as I'm concerned. Because I've seen clips upon clips upon clips. You can go and watch his former clips as well. And that is why when this thing is happening, we blacks are just folding our arms, cheering and clapping and waiting for more to be unfolded. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Sonia. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Credit belongs to original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. And guys, with that being said, let's go and watch the destruction. And you know the way I do my things. I'm going to go ahead and roll out that clip for you guys first. Then I'll go ahead and let you know roll out other reactions for you guys. Let's go watch. Disclaimers for educational purposes only. I'll be back with commentaries.
Dear Erica, I thought it best to do this publicly. I think public conversations keep everybody honest. And there are some things that certainly need to be clarified because sometimes the gap between the truth and the lie is what happens behind closed doors. You and Charlie began dating in earnest in 2019, and in retrospect, it was accompanied by a season of a lot of change. For one, I was getting married and virtually, therefore, joined at the hip with my fiance. He was sort of a new third wheel at all of our events. A few months later, on May 1st, the public was informed that I was resigning from my position as the communications director of Turning Point USA. Now, there has been a lot of public speculation as to what led to that decision. The media ran with it was anti-Semitism or some disagreement about Kanye West, but that wasn't true. None of that was true. The truth, and I think that you very well know the truth is, because you were around for it, is that Charlie and I had a disagreement which fractured my trust in him. He did something that he had never done before. He lied to my face about money. Now, in retrospect, I believe that the manner in which I discovered the lie might have been by design, but there's no need for us to delve into conspiracy when the facts are plain enough. Charlie had taken a meeting down in Florida with Ike Perlmutter at Mar-a-Lago. It was a fundraising meeting. For whatever reason, he did not want me to know about this meeting, and that was strange. It was meant to be kept a secret. It was strange because we had always collaborated on and taken those sorts of meetings together. Anyway, I found out about it, and I decided to ask him casually as we were riding up an elevator at the Trump Hotel in D.C. I said to him, have you heard from Ike recently? And he looked me right in the face, just as he was getting off on his floor. And he said, no, I haven't. I haven't heard from him in like 2 weeks. And I then said back to him, really, Charlie, because you had lunch with him yesterday at Mar-a-Lago. And I saw his stomach drop. His entire face looked, as if he was going down a roller coaster. He stuck his arm back in the elevator really quickly and tried to explain it away. He then pivoted toward an apology, but obviously the damage was done. And if I'm being honest, I was as hurt as I was shocked and confused by it because we were close. We did go back down to the lobby. We sat at a table and we talked. I don't even remember whether or not I was angry. I probably was. That does tend to be my choice emotion. But deep down, there was a part of me that knew that it was coming because of a lot of the new hires that were coming into Turning Point USA post-Kanye tweet. Charlie had new people in his ear that were hijacking his ambition, making him believe that money was the truest measure of success. Charlie was a brilliant fundraiser. Everybody knows that, but he was also young. He was naive to what the wrong money could invite into his life. And I warned him. I warned him in that restaurant. I warned him specifically about Stacey Sheridan. Everything about her made my skin crawl. And I suspected she and Tyler had something to do with it. I also warned him about Schaefer Security and Dan Flood. You can check the text messages because you have them. And now I am left wondering, obviously, if Charlie had heeded my advice, if he would still be alive. I've also come to another realization that I missed at that time. Maybe the newest and the biggest influence in his ear. Who was that, obviously? It was you. You were the newest and biggest influence in Charlie's life. You kind of all arrived at the same time. And you too, Erica, you lied to my face as we sat down in that hotel and we spoke for 4 hours. But I want to be clear, it was different. You see, with Charlie, I could forgive him. We were always like brother and sister. We went on tours thereafter. But you didn't do it when you lied. You didn't do it out of naivety. You didn't do it because you were young and being pulled into the wrong direction by bad faith actors. Andrew Colvat was never going rogue. You knew that. Every single evil thing that was done to me was done with your blessing. And I consider the onslaught of attacks that I had to endure, they were evil. Because you knew I was telling the truth, and you authorized people with an incredible amount of money to attack one of the few people in politics who was actually grieving your husband. You knew we had a deep friendship. You knew I was telling the truth about the Catholic thing, about everything. You allowed these people to lie and to say that Charlie and I hadn't spoken since 2019. I mean, it's crazy how much of a lie that was. You authorized it, and I now know that. The question is why? It was so cruel, so mean, right? Why impart that on someone who you know, within a sea of snakes, actually cared about Charlie and didn't want anything out of the organization? Maybe it's because I was like a loose end, one person that wasn't controlled by an organization. I'd just kind of proven that I'd rather lose everything to say something that I don't believe, least of all for money. I mean, maybe it's also because you have his phone. And when I revealed to the public that he had predicted his own death in remarkable detail, maybe you went back and you read the rest of those messages, the ones that I haven't yet revealed to the public, because in retrospect, those messages they're pretty terrifying because they're precise and it feels prophetic. Charlie was gifted. You know that. I know that. And the government most certainly knew that as well since he was a kid, which is why it was at least very interesting to me that you told the New York Times, something that most people didn't pay attention to, but you told the New York Times the night before his murder, Charlie's, and I'm going to quote this, you said that Charlie's adrenal glands were just going off. He couldn't sleep. I know enough about Charlie to know what that means. That means that Charlie was being bothered. He was probably having visions like he was in 2018, probably a clearer vision than the one that I had that you guys tried to mock, that danger was coming. And I'm going to go ahead and say that it wasn't about a Jezebel article written by some leftist. Please stop saying that because it's not true. I know Charlie, the leftist article didn't upset him in this way. Didn't make him call a priest to pray over him. He thought someone was going to kill him. He did express that in writing, and you did not lose those text messages. You knew that. Charlie and I spoke a lot about his third eye. That's why that sentence caught my attention in the article. He spoke about the street lamps that would go off when he would run, about the special school that he had to go to. We spoke about a lot of the things that were strange in our childhood, the testing that both of us had to endure. We spoke about the fact that we could both astral project. You know all of this, of course. You have his phone. And how surprised we were when we learned that not everybody does that naturally. Sleep paralysis, you name it. We had conversations about it. And if Charlie's adrenal glands were going off, it was probably maybe for the very same reason that I pulled my kids out of school days before he was murdered, because I sensed danger was coming. And since we are being open, I also want you to know that it struck me as odd when you said in that interview with Jesse Waters that you wanted Charlie to have a good night's sleep. He was so excited. So you sent him to sleep in his daughter's room. You know, it struck me as a little bit backwards. If I wanted my husband to have a good night's sleep because of something he had the next day, I'd probably let him sleep in the room, and I would sleep in my daughter's room. I flagged that. I also thought what was interesting is that you said the next morning when he snuck in, he grabbed his wedding band. Again, minor detail, but I asked myself, why was his wedding band off? But enough of speculation. Here are the facts. I now have verifiable proof in writing that Justin Strife and you lied to me. You know exactly who Pierre is. Why did Justin Strife say that he had never heard of Pierre? It's crazy. Justin, why would you do that? Justin, you know him. You've met with him. You've personally met with Pierre. ERIKA, you've met with him in the wake of Charlie's death. I have, again, verifiable proof. So you can call your lawyer. You can spend another $1 billion on PR if you want to. Tell your lawyer to call my lawyer. I mean, you guys certainly have the money to do all of these things. It's not going to wipe away the truth. Okay. The truth is that there was a deal on the table with Pierre, who, yes, is from France, born in France. And that deal was worth billions, not millions, billions, plural, billions of dollars. Just after Charlie was shot, and again, I have proof, Pierre had a phone call with Justin Strife. He also had a phone call with Mr. Don Orico of Turning Point USA down in Tampa. And you know, it's really odd. Somehow this French man, Pierre, he knew that Charlie was dead before the rest of the world did. How did he know that? How did he know before I knew? Especially because he wasn't yet a donor to Turning Point USA. Why was he given so much priority? Frenchman. I'm interested. I know that after Charlie died, that deal went through. Yeah. I mean, if I'm lying, this would definitely fall within the category of defamation. So, yeah, I'm all in on this one. I'm guessing, by the way, regarding this, Pierre, that this might be the reason that the White House never got back to me regarding the French Foreign Legion being involved with Charlie's assassination. Because, I don't know, there could be a French angle here. Could this be a motive? Could billions of dollars be a motive? I mean, I'll just ask them immediate questions. My question would be, why would a devout Catholic Frenchman be looking to give billions of dollars to an evangelical organization? Is that not weird? Just objectively weird? Gosh, that's a pretty big investment. Just really care about free market capitalism? What's France got to do with college campuses in America? Full stop. The answer, ERIKA, is nothing. Nothing. And one of the things that when I was a kid, another GATE kids, as we've been speaking about the GATE program, when they put you in these special classes, they test you frequencies, sounds, they made us drink fluoride, all the weird stuff. But one of the things that they're especially interested in is how quickly you can put together puzzles. I want you to know that I excelled at that. I was really good at putting together puzzles. I gotta tell you, I think the picture is starting to emerge here. I think I was right. My best guess is that it was Pierre Falcone all along. Of Angola Gate, we talked about it on the show. France, Israel, the United States, this time it would be Egypt rather than Angola, all working together Maybe they were getting the band back together to traffic because, yeah, there's been a lot of trafficking that just keeps coming up in this investigation. These countries, these satellite of countries, you trying to pretend with your, what now, billions of dollars, got a PR, we can do all of this. And it was so crazy. Oh my God, a little joke about the Egyptian planes. What? Nothing to see here. This is my theory. There's a lot to see here because you were lying to cover Bibi Netanyahu's tracks. That's very strange. You were there when Bibi Netanyahu called. Andrew told me that Bibi offered to take Turning Point USA to the next level and that Charlie turned him down in the Hamptons at the dinner that you were a part of. But you don't remember that part. You say he's just calling about a letter that Charlie wrote 5 months earlier. The dinner that you thereafter allowed an army of influencers to claim never actually happened, but you were there. Oh, I was there every step of the way. None of this ever happened. Nobody wanted to address Bibi calling. Nobody made any statements about that. Full-blown psyop, psychological operation. Truly, everything that you guys did, not only was it cruel, but I think the real motivation was you just thought you could psychologically break me. Because that's what this whole thing has been. It's been one big psyop. Very well funded because there's a lot of money on the line. If nothing happened in the Hamptons that was out of the usual, why the panic? Because something did happen. Charlie told Bibi Netanyahu no. Bibi, also, Charlie had declined to have Bibi on his podcast. When Bibi went on a little PR tour, Charlie didn't want to have him on the podcast, according to Andrew. So Charlie seems pretty done with Israel, right? You don't want to have on the Prime Minister of Israel? But the obvious question here the media is not interested in, but I certainly am, is in exchange for what, right? In exchange for what was Bibi Netanyahu going to take Turning Point USA to the next level? In exchange for what? And also, how was he planning to get that money into the company? Turning Point was already worth $100 million. More than $100 million annually. What does the next level mean? It sounds like it would have to be billions. Via whom? My guess is Pierre, Erika. I think that there's a reason Pierre knew that Charlie was dead first. I think there's a reason he was a priority. How? Why? I think France and Israel are involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination. And I'm going to put that out there with full confidence. I also now have very strong evidence, which suggests that you lied about your whereabouts on the morning of September 10th. Little details have been edited. You said that you were accompanying your mother as she was receiving a treatment. Like I said, I now have something which strongly disputes that narrative. So I'll ask you this question on behalf of the world. What the hell happened on September 10th? Why are you guys struggling to get your story straight? Why did you tell Jesse Waters this?
And you wanted to see Charlie immediately and came up. Take us through that.
We landed in Utah, went straight to the hospital.
Straight to the hospital? Andrew told me that when he deplaned, you guys embraced on the tarmac and he boohoo cried in your arms because he has so much pent up anxiety. So just given the planes, which you confirmed to me which plane he was on and which plane you were on, that would mean that you had to wait for Andrew to land for an hour. Waited for an hour. Don't do the thing where you tell me that Andrew went rogue. Don't do that, Erika. You're lying. You would be lying. The question is why? Why did you wait? And how long did you wait? And who was on the Egyptian planes? Who took off to Delaware? Who stayed behind to communicate on that second plane that was transponding for no reason? I think you know what I know, which is that I'm going to find out. This is not going to be a never-ending mystery. This is not going to be the JFK story. I'm going to figure out exactly what happened. I'm getting very close, against all odds, against billions. You might have the billions, but I have the truth. So that's what I wanted to say to you.
CANDACE Owens just motherfucking shattered ERIKA KIRK. When I tell you she shattered her, like, oh my motherfucking God. How old were you when you found out that Charlie Kirk and CANDACE Owens were in the GATE program? CANDACE Owens basically talked about how her and Charlie used to have visions and they was in the GATE program and they were used to do all these different types of tests and they will primarily focus on puzzles and she had to do puzzles in the GATE program and that's how they became besties. They built a relationship off of that. So I'm already like, whoa. So then I guess CANDACE found Charlie Kirk's like, somebody was writing something and I think Charlie was documenting like his own visions and he was having a vision that somebody was trying to kill him. Fast forward, it was his wife. CANDACE has hardcore evidence that his wife knew what was going to happen, and France and Israel have direct ties to what happened to Charlie Kirk. And he said, and she was like, you lied about where you was on the day that it happened. She is not playing no games. No games. Then she went to talk about how one of the leaders of, you know, the Izzies, Bibi Netanyahu or something like that, he offered Charlie like billions of dollars to have him on his podcast and to be a part of Turning USA. And Charlie was like, no. Because Turning USA, I think, was like a college project thing. And he was there. Candace was questioning, why would you be making $1 billion from a company that's already making $100 million off of students that come in that are from college kids? Now, all I'm going to say is think about the files and what they're doing to people. People are going missing. And you know the president of Izzy, that's all I'm going to say. Candace is just proving everything that we've been talking about, and this veil is breaking, and the truth is coming to light no matter what, and everybody is scrambling.
I were Charlie Kirk, I would haunt ERIKA KIRK into admitting what she did to me, because there's no way that lady didn't do something. Mind you, we are still in January. We have not even made it to month 2 of 2026. And here I am again for the second time saying, I'm with Candace Owens. Put your hands up right now. I'm praying. May a friendship like the friendship that was Candace and Charlie find you and hold you tight. This is how your friend is supposed to advocate for you. The only other friendship I want a friendship like is that girl who called the police after they came back from the trip because her friend went missing, and then we was able to find out that the husband did it, and we found out early on and messed up the husband's plan because the best friend was like, hello, my friend. Friendships like that are what you need. So Candace Owens gets on her podcast and she releases audio. This is audio of ERIKA KIRK 2 weeks after Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Ever been on a call with your regional manager before the Christmas rush? This is what ERIKA sounded like in the phone call, okay? And I don't like that. I know that grief comes in all different shapes and sizes, but it's giving district manager. It's not giving grief. And I know I can't be the one to judge the grief because, again, there is no definition to grief, but also like it's not what ERIKA's giving us. Also, I want to say, baby, I want my husband down to the floor about me. If I should happen to go before him, I want him done up, unable to walk, unable to talk, unable to eat. I want my friends and family to have to feed him soup with a spoon because that man don't have enough strength to hold the spoon up. If he gives you anything less than that, he did it. He's the number one suspect, because why would you not be done up about losing me? Not to mention, there is more chemistry between J.D. Vance and ERIKA KIRK than all of the science classrooms in America combined. Nevertheless,
Wow.
to the audio.
I don't even know where to begin. The fact that we were able to pull off an event of a century, like, it's just insane. We had over 275,000 people that attended, and stadium overflow, Westgate, insane, you guys. And then you have, was it 100 million? We had thousands that were registered to vote. I think we're at like over 200,000 for merch sales. Don't quote me on that because I think it just keeps like bumping up like crazy. But I just wanted to say a huge thank you to the events team, the development team, the graphic design team, the production.
Yeah, Candace Owens is in her bag.
Most of us have our different opinions when it comes to Candace Owens. I mean, I've had some opinions. No, I don't like everything she says, but hey, when it comes to her and talking about this lady by the last name Kirk and the way that she's been grieving, not grieving, baby, I gotta stand with Candace Owens on this because, honey, I ain't seen the lady grieve yet. And Candace leaked audio/video of that lady by the name of Kirk kikiing and cackalaacking instead of not grieving for her husband. Again, I gotta agree with Candace on this. I ain't seen no grieving yet. It's kind of odd. No, kinda. It's odd. It just makes you wonder. And I get people grieve different, but I just ain't seen no grieving from the lady. If anything, she seems more upbeat than sad and very odd.
So Charlie Kirk, folks, and I guess even Candace is trying to say that Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens were BFF. Listen, BFF my ass. See, to me, Candace is doing a little bit too much for somebody that was allegedly just a friend. Because if Candace is so traditional, why is she so emotionally invested on what another woman is doing in relation to her husband? She got her own husband. For me, it's giving funeral adjacent sneaky link energy. You didn't come to the service, but you keep popping up online. Loud, emotional, and real defensive. That's not grief, y'all. That's unfinished business. I'm tired of people talking about, oh, they were besties. Because if it was your bestie, why are you more pressed than his widow? That's like the side dish arguing with the entree that they know the chef better. That only makes sense. I'm just saying, when somebody won't let it go like this, it starts feeling less like friendship and more like this person mattered to me in a way that I can't say it to anybody else out loud. Y'all tell me what you see. Because to me, it's giving sneaky link who didn't get no closure that's now spiraling out on the main. It could be just me, but I don't think it is.
Guys, the Republicans are beefing and the tea is so hot. Candace Owens just dropped this 17-minute video. She captioned it an open letter to ERIKA KIRK, and it's up on her page. In this 17-minute video letter, she makes some serious claims and allegations towards ERIKA KIRK. Like implying, well, not implying, but straight up saying that she believes that ERIKA KIRK had something to do with the passing of Charlie Kirk. So basically, Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens used to work together. At some point, Candace winded up resigning from the company because Charlie basically lied to her about money. Basically, Charlie was doing business deals at Mar-a-Lago without her knowledge. Basically, when she found out, like, the damage was already done, the betrayal was already there. But they did speak about it, and they had a lot of love for each other. She understood that Charlie Kirk was young, and impressionable, and he was being pulled in every which direction by everybody. One new distraction in Charlie's life, or one new tether in Charlie's life at the time, was ERIKA KIRK. And she claims that ERIKA KIRK was one of the biggest influences in Charlie Kirk's ears. And then she goes on to call out ERIKA because ERIKA has basically lied to her as well. Not only has she lied to her, but has also done everything in her power, including sending people with money after Candace Owens, speaking her truth post Charlie Kirk's passing. And not only that, ERIKA KIRK herself went out of her way and spent millions of dollars on a PR team to discredit Candace Owens, one of the only people who she claims actually cared about Charlie Kirk and his passing, to discredit all her claims, and basically allow people to lie on her name and drag her. Meanwhile, she's been telling the truth this whole time. Like, one of the lies was that she claimed that Candace and Charlie hadn't spoken since 2019 after she resigned from that company, but Candace is saying that wasn't the truth. Her and Charlie were close and stayed in contact up until he passed. She also mentioned that interesting thing is that Charlie was having premonitions at the time that danger or something bad was coming. Claims that they all knew that Charlie had a gift because he was able to prophesize his own unaliving. Claims that he was powerful and that the government knew that as well since he was a kid. Now, this goes into a whole nother conspiracy theory. Basically, ERIKA even did an interview saying that up until the night before his unaliving, he was having visions, much like he had back in 2018 when he knew that danger was coming. It really sounds to me like he was some form of like psychic. The government knew about that, and if you know what the government does with psychics, then you know. Now, Charlie would experience a lot of like dark and mysterious things, and throughout his whole life has always been in touch with the spiritual side of life, and Candace Owens as well, as Candace and Charlie often bonded on astral projection and how easy it was for them to do. And Candace Owens is now saying that she's exposing it all. There's this guy by the name of Pierre. There's a deal on the table between Pierre, ERIKA KIRK, that was worth billions of dollars. And after Charlie died, the deal went through. So she alleges that the United States, France, and Israel were all behind the unaliving of Charlie Kirk, allegedly. Oh, and Egypt. She said now this is all an attempt for them to cover up. Basically, Charlie fell out with the Prime Minister of Israel and very important people from these other countries, right? And in Candace's theory, he didn't want to have a lot of them on his podcast. And in Candace's theory, he had pissed off a lot of important people. And not only that, but Charlie Kirk was also this powerful man, according to Candace. And so they all came together, made this deal that was worth billions of dollars, and they took Charlie out of here and tried to blame it on the Democrats, like always. That was pretty much her video summed up. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.
If I was ERIKA KIRK, when Candace Owens said she was going to do a 2 or 3 part deep dive into my life, into my past, I would have ran on over there to Fort Huachuca, hopped on that plane, the blue plane or the yellow plane, whichever one was there, and took my ass on over to Tel Aviv, okay? Because when this deep dive is done, there will be no stone left uncovered. Candace Owens doing a deep dive on your life? Can you imagine? I would fucking lose it, okay? I would need to go into witness protection. I would just lose it. Candace Owens uncovering all of your secrets. Ooh, baby, no.
I just saw Candace Owens' latest message to ERIKA KIRK. Mind you, it has been 5 years since their man died, and they're... Mind you, okay, Candace, I'm starting to think you killed him. Deadass, like, I'm genuinely, like, the more I see you talking, the more I'm starting to think you set that man up. Because you're coming on here talking about, oh yeah, like, I left Turning Point. You said this is a message to ERIKA KIRK. You know, like, you explained that you left Turning Point USA because he was at Mar-a-Lago taking money from people he shouldn't take money from. He's taking money from people he shouldn't take. What about you? So, like, I'm hearing you explain all of this stuff, and you're saying, well, he should have listened to me, and maybe he wouldn't be like that. He should have listened to you, and maybe he wouldn't have got murked. He should have listened to you, and maybe he would still be alive. It's starting to feel like you killed the man. And then you're going back and forth with his wife, but the whole video wasn't really much about his wife. It was you explaining that you left because he was going to Mar-a-Lago and taking money from people he shouldn't take money from. And you got into an argument with him because of that. And I'm looking at it, and I'm just like... I feel like, low-key, you're saying, like, you just switched him with... I feel like you were at Mar-a-Lago taking money from people you should not be taking money from. You're like... I feel like... Did you do something to that man? It's starting to feel like you're just as guilty as ERIKA KIRK. Because you're making a video addressing ERIKA KIRK, but the whole video was just you saying, and Charlie, he went to Mar-a-Lago to get some dirty money. And, like, maybe if he listened to me and wasn't, like, doing weird shit with those people at Mar-a-Lago, maybe he would still be alive. All I'm saying is, like, I genuinely, like... She's trying to act like she's a voice for the people. Girl, you're getting paid. They're paying. This is a whole bunch of bullshit.
For everybody who has been tuning in to Candace Owens' videos, especially the one she posted yesterday with her letter to ERIKA KIRK, what are your thoughts? I am mind blown right now. I was surprised to hear that Charlie filed for divorce, but honestly, like, it all makes sense now, like the way things happened, the cover-ups and everything, and her focus for fundraising in the extravagant funeral that did not need to happen. Yes, he deserved a funeral, but not to that degree. That was insane. I think Israel is definitely involved. I love that she is calling out BB. I love that she's calling out Justin. I love that she's calling out ERIKA, everybody. And I'm so curious to see where this falls. ERIKA's response to it. Israel's response to it. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Let me know your thoughts.
Candace Owens just dropped a nuclear bomb about ERIKA KIRK, Ben Shapiro, and Benjamin Netanyahu. You're not going to believe this. Candace claims that ERIKA KIRK, Netanyahu, and Shapiro were slated to film a piece of content together in Palm Beach. This wasn't years ago. We're talking about right now. Daystar, company that has a very troubled record with trafficking and abuse, was involved in the development. For whatever reason, though, this filming was canceled at the last minute very recently. Not only did Charlie Kirk refuse a cash injection from Benjamin Netanyahu, which was offered to him at the Hampton meeting via phone call, not only did Charlie Kirk deny the offer/request from Netanyahu to come out for a visit to Israel, and not only did Charlie Kirk say that I'm not going to have you, Mr. Netanyahu, on my podcast, even though he wanted to appear on it, unlike the others at Nelk Boys and the Daily Wire who so proudly had Benjamin Netanyahu, the war criminal, on their shows. And now ERIKA KIRK is saying, Benjamin Netanyahu, yeah, let's do a giant podcast show, media appearance all together with Ben Shapiro, who Charlie Kirk despised, and also Shapiro, who was not listed as one of the keynote speakers at the TPUSA AmFest conference before Charlie Kirk was unalive. But after Charlie Kirk was unalive, Ben Shapiro made a $1 million contribution to TPUSA, and magically his name was added to the list of speakers, where he got up on stage at the AmFest event in December of 2025, only to further divide the American public and say anyone who refuses to go along with the state of Israel and their criminality is racist themselves.
Shit is getting real. You have to realize that this whole Charlie Kirk event, it's unfolding so many things. If you're following Candace Owens and her investigation, how she's connecting the dots, this is just a bigger problem. The Charlie Kirk thing is just a ramification of this huge web of layers and layers and layers of things that are happening in this country and around the world as well. So I feel like this event was the key to open the Pandora box, and we're gonna learn a lot more of how dark it can get. Very dark.
Erika, you have to sue Candace. You must sue Candace, or everybody's going to assume that she's telling the truth. Even your PR extraordinaire, Andrew, knows that. And it can't be some lawsuit like, oh, breach of some ridiculous contract or whatever. It has to be a defamation lawsuit for what she said yesterday. But you're in a pickle. I'm not going to lie. You are in a tough spot because you've said a lot and you lied to her face. She really doesn't like liars. She's not enticed by money. There will be no settlement. She will go to court. She will go to trial. And it will be the trial of the century. So all eyeballs will be on that. Yeah, and you said you had his phone, so you can't just like disappear that. Then he had his wedding band off, put it on to go in public. He thought he was going to be unalived and he slept in a different room than you. That doesn't look good either. That's like disregarding everything else that Candace has found. And we all kind of think Candace has a picture. She's pretty confident. She wants you to sue her. She wants discovery. But you guys can't really do that, can you? Yeah, that's tough. That's a vertical hill you're looking at. That sucks. I'm not gonna lie. But if you're telling the truth, if the truth is on your side, you can climb that hill. You can do anything through God who strengthens you, if God is the one strengthening you. So, yeah, this might be where the rubber meets the road. Doesn't look great, but at least you have $1 billion. That's fun. TPUSA was never your dream anyway, so bye-bye TPUSA. Nice knowing you. I'm gonna go do something else, like Summer House or Amazing Race. I have a new friend, Pierre. We all love supportive friends. And yeah, you had a good run. Say hi to Pierre for us.
Candace Owens, a long-term friend of Charlie Kirk, the dude who got murked back in September, uploaded about a 20-minute video addressing ERIKA KIRK, Charlie's now former wife. And in the video, Candace talks a lot about this dude named Pierre Falcone, who is like a French dude, and he's getting involved in American politics, and he's specifically like a French Catholic, and he gave a lot of money to Turning Point USA, which is an evangelical organization. But there's something that Candace didn't mention that I always thought was odd. So I first heard about Turning Point USA back in like 2016. So like I'm very, I don't say I'm very familiar with the lore since I was never a fan or anything like that. But like I am familiar with some of the characters appearing in the saga. Whenever Charlie and Erika first got together, I remember making a joke to my friend that the only reason that Erika was getting with him so that way she could have 3 Ks in her name, because they just didn't have any chemistry whatsoever. One thing about me, I'm super big on symbols, and of course words are symbols, and that's not my opinion, that's just how languages work. And so of course names are symbols. And it's so interesting that whenever you look up Erika's maiden name, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, but its 2 meanings are either free man or French man. And then along with that, which was odd, ERIKA KIRK's, like, a lot of her life has been really shrouded in a lot of mystery in a way that you don't typically ever see, especially in conservative politics. There's been a lot of rumors about her, like doing some things in Romania, but that's unsubstantiated. There's, like, an accusation about her maybe working for the CIA based off of a film from 2017 called Black Start, which, once again, I haven't seen, so I can't confirm that myself. But regardless of that, the fact that, like, we know so little about ERIKA KIRK and her life, other than the fact that she was like a pageant girl and seems to be longtime associates with Donald Trump, very, very odd to me. And now we have that connection to the Frenchman, the Pierre Falcone. And that's odd. And what also makes it so interesting to me is that I believe it was back in the 90s, there was a movie called Snake Eyes, in which this politician named Charlie Kirkland gets murked in ways that kind of match up to what happened to Charlie Kirk. And that's one of the reasons why names are so important to me in the story, because a name very much is a promise. That's it. I just figured it bared mentioning since I haven't seen anybody talk about that. But yeah, hope y'all having a good one.
No, I think like a lot of the claims you're making, it's difficult to work out what you're actually claiming. You're throwing a lot of mud in the air, including people's names, which immediately then has millions of people chasing after these guys on social media and thinking...
I'm sorry they get caught lying. Like, I'm sorry, what is this? This is like, the public is actually being abused, okay? Let's stop pretending that the victim
Are they, or do you just want them to think they are?
No, the public is being abused because you're basically saying, stop noticing that people at Turning Point USA are lying.
No, I'm not.
How dare
No, I'm
Candace
not.
and the public know? Yes, you are.
No.
How dare Candace?
But when there's an
what you're
emphatic repudiation of what you're saying...
Mikey lies, and Rob McCoy lies, and Blake Neff lies, and yes, all of these people have lied on record after the assassination. And the public goes, hey, that's kind of a weird lie. You're like, how dare you put a target on their back by noticing that they're lying? I mean, what weird psychological operation is this?
Do you believe...
Don't lie.
Okay, but do you believe ERIKA KIRK has been lying about it?
No, I have been explicit on my show when people were saying, why aren't you attacking ERIKA KIRK? I said, because ERIKA KIRK has not lied. If to the extent that she lies, I will call it out. And that is why I did call out when she lied, okay? When she said Charlie Kirk never received any text messages the night before saying that he was worried about that he was going to get murdered tomorrow. I instantly said, well, here we have it. That's a lie. He definitively did send out text messages to both Dan Flood and Andrew Colbett. And when we met in person, she clarified that, okay, yes, that's real. And we didn't know until you said it because he was using a different app and she was checking his iMessages. So to me, if you lie, you're going to make an enemy of me. Just don't lie. How about that basic requirement to say to people, don't lie about what happened on that day. Don't lie about what you did on that day, because that's the first clue to investigators that that person should be looked at further.
All
Again,
right.
this is common sense.
Okay, let's move to something else Blake Neff said. He said, Candace has made other stranger allegations involving French paratroopers in maroon shirts, Egyptian Air Force planes flying out of Provo, Utah, and potential underground assassins traveling through unseen tunnels. At one point in early November, she started wildly throwing suspicion on members of Utah Valley's soccer team for wearing hoodies. I could go on. There's always something new coming up. None of it ever pans out because from the start, there's been nothing there. What do you say to that?
He's lying, and that's the reason why Blake Neff is a suspicious character. I mean, him saying that I pointed to a soccer UVU person is complete fiction. I never had discussed that person on my show. Somebody was asking for a clearer photo of the person on X, and I shared it. No suspicion. Never said this person had anything to do with anything. I never covered him as a suspect on my show of anything at all. Didn't ask for more information on this person. That kid instantly responded and said, oh, those are our school colors, and that was it. And Turning Point tried to turn it into a thing. Why are you doing that? Regarding the Egyptian planes, that's a fact. Why are you saying she said that there was a military Egyptian plane on the ground that day? There was. In fact, there were two. So why are you pretending that that's like a weird thing to notice? And that is why people have been flagged about these planes. Let me
ask you about the planes.
I'm never allowed to answer a single question that you say in entirety before you move on to the next question.
You can't just keep talking ad infinitum. I'm allowed to ask you another question.
No, it's called answering. You just read an entire statement of multiple points of blinks. I got to the second point, and you're like, let me ask you a question.
No, I want to...
I'm watching Candace right now, and she showed Erika's little clip on Fox News. She's got to know the jig is up. She did not expect Candace to find all of this shit out. But just like, look how flustered she is.
This is what happened. This is what here's all of the, it's just as hard, all of the facts on the table for you guys to see. And you guys can see on full display what happened to my husband, and there is no ifs, ands, or buts or confusion as to who did it and why.
Erika never forgets like what she's gonna say. It's always like so perfect, you know? She's probably trying to plan on how this is all gonna end and how she's going to explain herself. I actually never thought this day would come. Candace took like so long to start just like laying it out there about Erika, but she's going hard now. And yeah, it's over for TPUSA and ERIKA KIRK, I believe. ERIKA KIRK and TPUSA have to be scrambling, trying to figure out, like, what's our next move, or what are we going to do? Like, Candace, like, she got us. I don't think there's a way out of this. Just saying.
Candace never shows her evidence because she doesn't have to. Secondly, she is never going to sit on that camera like she did tonight and look ERIKA KIRK straight in the face, well, through a camera, and tell her what she told her if she did not have evidence to back it up. Tell me I'm wrong about that. She's not going to open herself up to a defamation case unless she knows she's telling the truth. And in order for them to sue her, would they not have to prove that she was lying? And she knows that they can't. This is just starting to look like what everybody thought it was from the beginning, a huge setup. And I truly believe in my soul that ERIKA was placed in Charlie's life like a chess piece to fall in love with him, to manipulate him, to push his views one way or the other. If somebody can act like that for so long and like fall in love with someone, have children with them, like what kind of person do you have to be? If this is all true, I think Charlie was just in love and blinded by love and naive. But sometimes I wonder if he was like catching on to her or if he knew. It's almost more comforting thinking that he just didn't, because that is so heartbreaking. How are they going to explain this? How are they going to come out of this? Do you think they can? Do you think Turning Point USA can come back from this? I can't wait to see what Candace has for next week, but we know that she's a good chess player and she always reveals this stuff at the perfect time.
ERIKA KIRK is shaking, and someone's going to have to go get a mop because ERIKA KIRK's tea is spilled all over the floor. And the culprit is Candace Owens. There's a lot to this story. There's some clips. Let's talk about it. So Candace Owens is using her platform to expose ERIKA KIRK. Now, when Charlie Kirk was first assassinated, Candace Owens was one of the most loud voices. She was big about the conspiracy that was his unaliving, and she wasn't taking that it was just done randomly for an answer. She wanted to know why. She wanted to know who. She didn't believe that who they said was the person that assassinated him did it, and she continued to be vocal about it. As of a few months ago, she had done some interview on a conservative platform with ERIKA KIRK. That led me to believe, and the audience as well, that she was going to be more leaning on whatever ERIKA wanted to do now that they had spoken and got a one-on-one interview. No, ma'am. The entire time it looks as though Candace was planning a coup of her own. Baby, they have the literal recordings of ERIKA KIRK talking about the numbers, like the people that came out, the amount of views they're getting, the amount of money they're now earning, how big the event was after her husband's death, and saying he's up there with Jesus, but we made 100 mil. I'm gonna let you guys listen to both these clips. Check this out.
Hi, everybody. I still love all these emoji Zoom things. Wow. I don't even know where to begin. The fact that we were able to pull off an event of a century, like it's just insane. We had over 275,000 people that attended, and stadium overflow, Westgate, insane, you guys. And then you have, was it 100 million? You guys that heard the gospel and all about Charlie and all about everything that you guys do, and the hard work of Turning Point USA is insane. We had thousands that were registered to vote. I think we're at like over 200,000 for merch sales. Don't quote me on that because I think it just keeps like bumping up like crazy. But I just wanted to say a huge, huge, huge thank you to the events team, the development team, the graphic design team, the production team. It's just phenomenal. Their incredible work leading into the memorial. And honestly, a lot of the staff that worked on the memorial, they had 20-hour days for a week during the time of us grieving the loss of my husband. And honestly, I know several staff that didn't even sleep. Again, you guys are breathing angels, and I'm so grateful for all of you. And obviously a huge thank you to the Mosaic team. VI, you guys are 10 out of 10. Like we have the most incredible team. We just do. And you guys know that, and you guys are all a part of that. And I am so, so thankful. And if you do have a moment and you run into any of those staff members that you know had a role in this, and you know that they put a lot of their time and effort into it, just say thank you. there's something really special to be seen in moments like this, and it's not easy. I'm speaking from experience. I'm right in the trenches with you guys. And so the fact that you just... We have so much to do, which is exciting. Charlie in heaven is like, you guys thought you had a busy schedule then, just you wait. And he's doing some awesome things with Jesus in heaven right now, but there's so much work to be done. I mean, since his assassination, we have 100,000 chapter requests. We have 300,000 new donors. That is a blessing in itself. Again, not normal. Oh God. I think we have 50,000 plus hat orders to fulfill. I mean, I'm saying these numbers because it puts into perspective that we're not just sitting and thinking and looking at the wall being like, what do we do? Like that, there is so much to do. You have over 20,000 AmFest registrations.
There's a lot happening.
So after that exposure, I mean, it's a long, some long clips. I just gave you, something short, but she is not remorseful. I could say allegedly, but please, even this right here, performative. They might as well yelled "and scene" on this hug alone. I do believe that ERIKA KIRK's plans are getting shut down like an evil villain. I believe that she came in, the husband getting assassinated was just a part of her becoming the head of Turning Point. I'm going to say allegedly on that. And then her ultimate plan was to become vice president's wife, or the real president, which is going to be J.D. Vance, who is allegedly up next. She can't be Trump's wife, but she could have wiggled her way into J.D. Vance's. But now that brown-skinned lady said, you taking who, man? Fourth baby. Now, that's, dismantled. Now here comes Candace Owens with your tea. So after that, I know you'll look at photos like this very differently. So many people, and that lady don't care. She don't care. She's been trying to climb to the top since she met him. He was a pawn in her game of political success. And I wonder how it all, after this unveiling, will reveal in the end.
Candace Owens, let me make this clear. I like you, but I don't love you. I like you, but I don't love you. And reason why I like you and I don't love you is because you can 100% sit down as a black woman and watch Charlie Kirk say any nonsense you want to say when he was alive. All for the sake or for the reason that I think that you actually got married to a white guy. Let's leave that aside. But on this issue, Candace Owens, I appreciate you. For my own opinion on what I've seen about this, I think this is a best friend trying to root out a lot of things, of which I don't know yet if this best friend has another different emotion that was literally attached to this friendship of a thing. But we are going to get to find out if there is any of that, of which I don't believe that. Because if you watch from the clip that I roll out for you guys, where this my black woman, because anything this woman literally said, I've forgotten her name, where she literally stated that if everything was going well as just normal friends between Candy and Charlie Kirk, that most of these things that she's trying to root out, there is more attached to it. And when I went to the comment section, some people said maybe they are dating or something. Let's leave that aside, right? You can go to our comment section to go check. I'm trying to check that particular clip that I have here that say that, so that you can go read what they actually have in the comment section. So when this woman said that, I just took a pause. And I just said, okay, let's just keep going and see what happened. Right? The truth is, if okay, this is the particular clip here. This is the particular clip here. I want to actually get her name out. I'm sorry, guys. This lady, the big shop tutu, at the big shop tutu, right? This particular clip here. She said a lot that I really agree with it. But other people are saying ERIKA should sue. ERIKA should sue. And ERIKA has not said anything. Why have she not said anything? Is there something that she wants to tell us? Because I believe from when Candace always started saying she's going to root out a lot of things that has been hidden, if some of the things that she's saying is not correct, why have this lady not sued her? Why are they still watching? Because you won't tell me that you don't have money to sue, and you won't tell me that you are still mourning. You are not mourning anymore. In fact, you're done mourning the moment the very week your husband died, as far as I'm concerned. So you can't say because you're mourning, you don't want to do anything. Why have you not sued? Let's know that what she's saying is wrong. And that's why a lot of people are speculating that these things are right. These things are right. And Candace Owens is not even ready to rest yet until she's able to root out every single thing. Every single thing. She said she's going to fight for her best friend. She's going to stand for her best friend. She's going to make sure that everything about her best friend, what really happened, will definitely come out. Because she have not been able to digest how someone just came up, pew-pewed, and that was all. And for us to now say, okay, we've gotten the person that pew-pewed him, you said, oh, you forgive the person because, oh, Charlie would do the same thing. You forgive him because your husband would do the same thing, and so on and so forth. And of which I have never seen your husband as a Christian. I've never seen your husband as a pastor. He's a Christian, but I've never seen him as a pastor. You understand? Every single thing he preached or he said on his podcast were upside down. But anyways, fingers crossed, we are still waiting to see what is actually going to happen. Credit belongs to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. You guys, let me know what you think in the comment section about every single thing that has been going back and forth. And if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Subscribe, like this video, drop me your comment, and lastly, do not forget to share. And thank you so much for staying stick and hook with me to the end of this video. And yes, with no further ado, I do like always say in my videos, I'm going to be saying bye, and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye guys. I love you guys. Mwah. Just let me know your honest opinion. Disclaimer, this is just for educational purposes only. Leave me alone. No. I'm just on my own.